Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Burn, Nick, and today we have a special guest. We have my dad, Jim.
Greetings, Earthlings.
How are you?
I'm incredibly good.
We're blind.
I woke up this morning, and that's half of every day, and yes, we are blind. That's
Yes.
why I'm scooched back, is the sun is, like, there.
Yeah, for those of you watching on YouTube, we're doing this early, and the sun is it's blinding right now, but that's okay.
But the sun is coming up, and that's always a good thing.
That's true. Well,
Right.
I mean, it was pretty.
look, it beats the alternative, right?
It's true. It's true. So, anyway, so today it's time for the monthly Ask the Boys show. But first, we're going to address the elephant in the room. Even though this is a cigar podcast, there will not be a cigar today because, I'm coming down from a nice case of strep throat. So that's what I was dealing with this past week and still kind of dealing with. And it's one of those things where if you listen to the last episode, you heard me doing the bookends with Drew Newman there. And, that's what I had. I didn't have a cold. I had strep throat. So
Usually little kids get strep throat.
Yeah, well, I think a little kid was to blame for my strep throat.
I think we determined.
I think we did figure that out.
Your nephew nailed you.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm dealing with that. And so I'm not going to be smoking this week as a result of that. So, and you...
I'm hitting the road shortly. I drive back to Indianapolis as soon as we wrap this up. So I'm having my daily blast of coffee. And I'm the kind of guy that I only smoke before noon if there's a golf club in my hand. Mm. So it's just a bit early for me.
That's fair.
And I figured, as long as I'm plugging fucking good coffee, we'll keep Nick Gervais happy. And look, that's the whole impetus behind everything is keeping that guy happy. Because you don't want him as an enemy from what I gather.
He's a masshole.
Well, and he lives in Cleveland. And you know those guys. You know what I mean? I've lived in Cleveland for a year. I don't know why anybody would live in Cleveland and claim that. But anyway. I'm driving. So I'm going to avoid a cigar for a while.
But if we were smoking a cigar, the cut would be brought to you by Dan the Man Ponder of Riverman Cigar Company. And Dan the Man Ponder over there in Crestwood, Missouri. Guys, I've told you before, he has his annual event coming up on September 30th. It's a Saturday. It's the last Saturday of September. He's going to have a couple of different cigar manufacturers there. He's going to have live music. He's going to have a fully stocked humidor. So if you're in the area, it's going to be a party. You're going to want to put that on your calendar. If you're not in the area, he does mail orders, so you can give him a call. He's got all kinds of great cigars over there. He'll walk you around the store, on the phone. He'll tell you, the nice things that he's got. And, he can put together a nice package of cigars and get those shipped to you right away. So, you can still support a brick and mortar even if you don't have a brick and mortar and still take part in the Riverman experience. But that's Riverman Cigar Company of Crestwood, Missouri, and this is where I normally would cut a cigar. But for now, why don't we now go ahead and just jump right into it.
Shall we play a game?
You talking to me? I have a question for you.
You gotta ask me nicely.
Ask me about my wiener!
You got a question? You ask the 8-ball.
Come on, sucker. Let's get it on.
It's time for Ask the Boys. Now, for those of you who are sitting back going like, you're subjecting your dad to this. You do listen.
I've been subjected to worse, actually, but there have been some moments on your cringe-worthy show. I sit there going, I shouldn't be listening to this shit.
Well,
That's right. Bring it on.
We're going to do this. So hopefully you guys were, somewhat controlled in your calls. I don't know. Some of these calls may have come in, well, at least one or two of these calls came in prior to the announcement that you were going to be on. So we'll see what happens. But we'll go ahead and we'll just jump right into it here with our first call. Hopefully this, oh, no. All right, we got a Rewind the back.
Yo, this is Teddy. I know this been a minute and everything, so let's get this shit started. So, first of all, I have been so fucking MIA, so please forgive me for missing out on a whole lot of shit. But I'm going to go ahead and go into the latest episode from Tuesday episode with guys, or 2/3 of the guys from Smoking Butt, Tapping Ass, I don't know. Either way, them sons of bitches. Great show, by the way. Second of all, it's been so long that I did not know that the outro and intro music got changed. What the fuck is that? That shit sounds like some shit that I would listen to right before I go into some fucking online training at a fucking job that I don't want. And I've literally heard, and I know that outro music, I definitely heard it a goddamn training exercise shit from some damn online bullshit. Either way, I've heard that goddamn music before. That's some shit, so we're going to have to change that. Second of all, Ask the Boys. Yeah, we might need to change that name because we're not really asking the boys anymore, are we? We're asking Nick and a parishioner. So I'm like, what if we just did the confessional? I don't know. This might be a confessional for crying out loud. I mean, like, there's a lot of shit that I can confess on right now. And please forgive me for my sins on these confessions. So I guess my first confession is that I have not been smoking as many cigars as I want to, only because of health reasons. But good thing is that those health reasons have pretty much gone away. So now I'm back on the horse smoking, cigars and stuff, enjoying them. Cigar that I just got through having was from Caldwell, blended with AJ Fernandez. Jesus, I can't remember the name of it. I'm on the road, so please forgive me on that one. Other than that, though, I can't wait to see everybody at Pulpit Fest. It's going to be a lot of fun. Nick, I appreciate the suite, man. I really do. The fact that you got me in for a suite and a rental and all that, man, that's awesome. So, again, appreciate you for that. Oh, and I'll give you my list of 20 cigars that you can get for me and everything like that. I appreciate that as well, too. Anywho, guys, y'all stay blessed, stay smoky. I just want to let y'all know I am alive and rested and and also too, just to let you know that I don't know if everybody's seen the video already of the Alabama Brawl. I will be bringing a chair because it's a whole bunch of white guys there, and I'm probably might be that token black guy, but yeah, I'm bringing a chair. So just in case if some shit pops off and everything like that. I'm not saying I'm going after anybody. I'm just saying that in case shit gets real, I'll have my chair. So anywho, y'all stay blessed.
And he hit the 3-minute time limit.
I got this one.
Okay.
Teddy, you may recall that I met you once. I'm not worried about you being in any kind of a brawl. My money is on your ass. I don't care how many guys are in the room. Teddy is going to win. Regarding your sins, smoke 1 Ave Maria and 2 All Saints. As a Catholic, I can tell you to do that, and you will be absolved of all your sins. And head south a little bit to Oxford, Mississippi. Go to the Holiday Inn Museum or the Holiday Inn University if it's still there, and just kind of walk around there, and that'll make you feel better about being anywhere else. So you're good, Teddy. I think you'll be fine at the event.
Teddy's been to Pulpit Fest, the last couple years, and you weren't I don't even want to say it. You weren't the only, black person.
Southerner. The only guy from Tennessee.
Yeah,
the
only guy of, color at the event. I mean, we had, we're a mixing pot,
We're a welcoming organization.
Exactly. And it's not my fault you caught yourself on fire 2 years ago. That was on you. That was on you, Teddy. Nobody did that to you. I want that for the record. That was on you. Anyway, and as for your sin, the fact that you're not smoking cigars due to health reasons, I don't even see that as a sin, quite frankly. I mean, yes, exactly. You gotta take care of yourself before you can, worry about that kind of thing.
God knows nobody else will.
Exactly. Now, I think it's more of a sin that at least, I don't know if he still is, but at least temporarily, I think Teddy had gone to like an all vegetarian diet.
That's a sin.
I mean, because he was making all sorts of great barbecue.
See,
and
my
smoked
theory is
meats
with
and
the
things of that
vegetarian thing.
nature.
A vegetarian is so great. Why are they trying to take vegetables and make them into patties to taste like meat?
Right?
Why don't you just eat meat?
There you go.
If vegetables are good, make patties that taste like vegetables
Well,
and just stop.
And I don't like the fact that they're trying to take vegetables and make them into other vegetables. Like this whole concept of, it's not mashed potatoes, it's mashed cauliflower. And it tastes just like mashed potatoes.
Right.
No, it doesn't. It tastes like fucking mashed cauliflower.
Yep. It's like
You can't-
cauliflower pizza.
Oh.
Name one Italian guy who endorses that.
Right?
You can't.
I mean,
I know.
The whole pineapple on pizza think it's a bad rap, but I think cauliflower pizza.
Pineapple I can go with, but cauliflower anything
that's what
ought to
I'm
be
saying.
banned.
It's not the same.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, Teddy, thanks for the long call, and I'm
glad he's good though.
We appreciate that. So, and then we've got a call here, and remember, hit the button.
Hey, Nick, and whoever you have with you today. It's me, Dave, again. Hey, I was listening to your episode about the aliens, and here's where my problem with aliens lives and lies, is that why do aliens always make themselves known to rednecks and hicks living in the middle of nowhere with zero education and zero credibility? Why don't they go ahead and make themselves known to scientists, mathematicians, artists, somebody of some culture and quality? Why is it always Billy Joe Jim Bob from Buttfuck, Illinois, who is getting, taken up into an alien ship and having his buttocks probed? I just don't understand why that's a great strategy. Also, that also brings me to the question is, why do aliens have an obsession with our buttholes? I asked my wife, and she told me the least interesting part of my whole body is my butthole. So I don't know why an alien would want to go ahead and probe your anus over and over again, universally. What are they hoping to find? What are they hoping to gain? It's not like there's a source of power there. Well, anything that can be useful power, I suppose. And I'm just curious, why do aliens always make themselves known to hicks while probing their buttocks? All right, that's all the question I got. Thinking about it. Until then, I'm going to always just be a little bit skeptical. All right. Take it easy. Stay smoky. Later.
Well, thanks for the call, Dave.
Why of all cities in Illinois did he pick buttfuck? And he's asking why aliens are focused on buttholes.
There's a valid point.
Is this guy an alien?
I don't know.
And buttfuck is not in Illinois. It's in Kentucky. Everybody knows that.
Trey Max from there.
Point.
No, he makes a point.
No, he doesn't.
About why do rednecks always
rednecks see Bigfoot?
Well, yeah,
I contest that the F-18 pilot off the Nimitz,
Well,
buzzing off of San Diego, you call
not
that
a
guy a redneck?
Not a redneck.
This son of a bitch is flying a multi-million-dollar gizmo, and he can shoot you from a mile away and not even blink.
It's true.
That's the highest technology. Rednecks are the guys who take those shaky videos of Bigfoot and go, I've seen it. Nah, you've got some high credibility people who are seeing alien things now. So his whole theory is just debunked.
And as for why are they interested in our buttholes? I mean...
And yet he goes back to the butthole.
I know some human beings that are preoccupied with buttholes. One of which used to sit with me for the majority of the past episodes. So I'm just going to put that out there and say that there are people, human beings, that are probably as interested, if not more interested, in buttholes than we perceive aliens to be. So, I don't think that's something we ought to judge the Greys based on. But anyway. All right, moving on to
it's early for this kind of stuff. You know that, don't
I know.
you?
Well,
right.
see, I wake up,
Yeah, you got it going, don't you?
We got to go,
Game on.
All
right.
When the show goes, the show goes.
Got it.
Anyway, so, okay, next call here. Maybe.
Hello there, this is Ken from Ashendale, and I was wondering, if you had to pick just one cigar brand and one liquor type, what would it be to satisfy you for the rest of your life? Just pondering that question, sitting there, and I'm not sure I can make that decision, so I was going to find out what your opinions were. Thank you very much, and you guys have a great day.
Well, that's our friend Ken Clarich down at Ash and Ale.
Quick anecdote.
I was going to say, let's get into this.
I have to put this out there. Which cigar and which beverage? I've known Ken now, yikes, 25, 24 years, I guess. For all your shopping needs, go to Ash and Ale in Palm Coast, Colorado. Anyway, he's a very good friend, obviously. You know that.
Yes.
I met Ken many years ago. I was coordinating charity golf tournaments.
Okay.
Large scale, I'm talking $500,000 events, right?
Yeah.
Healthcare executives from various companies would come. And Ken at the time was an event manager. I apologize, Ken, I don't recall your exact title. It was probably some lofty title. But he was the on-site coordinator for the event at a wonderful location at the time called Chateau Alon, located in Brazelton, Georgia, north of Atlanta. PGA Tour used to stop there. Gene Sarazen, if anybody's a golfer, you know Gene Sarazen. Gene Sarazen would pop through there after the Masters. He'd go to there and hang out, and his grandson was a pro there for a while. Anyway, Ken was my event manager, and he would help me coordinate the beds, how many rooms for so many, the tee times on the two different courses. Literally every element of the logistics on site was Ken, and I was the poor bastard he had to deal with. Part of the deal one night was the grand buffet, and it was a health foundation, and they gave awards and money out to recipients, and all of these people are in the ballroom and having just a lavish dinner, and Ken and I, being the guys working, you don't sit and eat, you sit outside, and you wait for something to explode. I remember forever, Ken, and this is my answer to you. Please don't ask me what the cigar was. I don't recall, but I do recall your dinner. And my dinner that night was, we took a bottle of Chateau Alon port, and we literally halved the bottle. You had half of the bottle of port, I drank the other half, and we had 2 cigars apiece, and that was our dinner that night. While everybody's inside eating wonderful beef and everything else, we're outside getting schmitzed on port wine and cigars. And somehow it was one of those cigar memories I'll have forever. So I've got other stories on Ken that I will not share. I swore on the stack of Bibles, but that's my answer: is a glass of port and a cigar with Ken.
Okay.
And I don't give a shit what kind of cigar it is. It's with a buddy, and that's all that matters.
There you go.
All right.
As for me, to narrow it down to one brand, Ken, I don't know, man. I bounce around so much. I mean, I have my ones that are in my regular rotation, but every once in a while something new comes along. Like, I discovered I had one at TPE and I really liked it, and then I picked some more up coming back from your place in Brownsburg, the Crux Habano Epicure. Love that cigar, and that's one that just kind of came out of nowhere, and it's really good. And so I don't want to I just don't know if I could limit it to one specific brand to say for the rest of my life there's that brand. But if gun to my head, I had to. Absolutely had to. Boy, this is going to be hard because I've got
a Perdomo champagne.
I've got sponsors, I really like the Perdomo. I've moved less off the champagne and more to the Habano Sun-Grown. I've smoking a lot of that. But somebody's gonna say I'm a shill. Somebody's gonna say I'm shilling for one of the sponsors and all that, and you can accuse me of that, and that's fine. But they're a sponsor for a reason. And it's because I really, really like their product. Aladino, man. I mean, if you were to stick to one, if you could tell me I could only have one brand for the rest of my life, Aladino has such a variety within their catalog between the Connecticut, the Cameroon, the Corojo, the Maduro, the different Corojo, between the regular standard line Corojo, the Corojo Reserva. Now they've got this Sumatra coming out later this year. There's the Candela they came out with at St. Patrick's Day. I mean, there's such a variety of different cigars within that catalog that I'd almost have to say that I'd be fine if you told me I could only smoke one brand for the rest of my life. I think I'd be fine just smoking Aladino. And as for a liquor, I'm not a big
not a liquor
guy.
No.
Like, I don't drink liquor straight for the most part.
No. I mean, mine would come from the Highlands in Scotland as single malt Scotch. I don't like peat. I don't like, I'm not a big bourbon rye kind of, I don't like heavy rye. So I know the area.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But yeah, you've never been a big liquor dude.
No.
Hell, you don't even drink soda.
No. So that's the thing. Iced tea would probably be my choice.
Iced tea in a Cameroon.
Iced tea in a Cameroon would be just fine with me. So, yeah, realistically, Ken, I think that's my choice. I think I'm going to go with Aladino. And in terms of a liquor, I think...
and you would enjoy that at the Ash and Ale Lounge in Palm Coast, Florida.
Palm Coast, Florida. For all of your wonderful cigar needs. Just... south of Daytona?
North of Daytona.
North of Daytona.
About a 28-minute drive north of Daytona.
Okay.
It's the center of mirth.
Center of mirth.
Happiness and mirth and joy and everything.
Okay.
Wonderful place, I hear.
Well, so, and speaking of Ken, I guess we ought to, there's been some discussions. And Ken wants to get more involved in the show. And I like that.
He was dropped as a baby. That's why. He still hasn't recovered. But
He takes
as I sit here.
He takes the helmet off when he does the Zoom calls with me for the show. But anyway, but the point is, he wants to be more involved.
Right.
And so one of the things that's been discussed, I mean, I haven't been involved in these discussions.
Yeah, we've been talking behind your back.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Is the idea of doing a monthly listener herf / cigar lounge herf, to where we would coordinate a day and a time. We'd have a Zoom. The details of said Zoom would be put out, and you guys could jump in and participate and kind of, it's one of those things that we've talked about on the show, where the whole point of this is to bring that lounge experience of the sitting around with your friends and BSing and talking about this and that and whatever, to you at your home or your car or wherever. This would be an opportunity for you to have kind of that interactive lounge experience and talk amongst different listeners and that sort of thing.
Get Teddy on the line.
Well, yeah.
Everybody could
sit and listen to Teddy for 20
talk
minutes.
Talk with Teddy. The Teddy call.
He can tell us all about his vegan diet, Yeah. So and then Trent would call like 20 times.
That's between the two of them.
I would say they'd call back 20 times. But anyway, so that's what we're thinking is doing like a monthly interactive herf. And so details on that are forthcoming, but we're talking about that. And speaking of Ash and Ale, before we move on to the next call, I do want to point out that for those of you in the Florida area, I will be at Ash and Ale on Wednesday, October the 18th, for an event that Ken is having with Mickey Peg of All Saints Cigars. So if you want to come out on Wednesday, October the 18th, I will be there. Mickey Peg will be there. Ken will be there. Come out, have some drinks, have some cigars, hang out. It'll be a wonderful time. But I am making the trek down to Palm Coast, Florida, to hang out with Ken and Mickey Peg on Wednesday, October the 18th.
And I won't be.
You won't be.
I'll be going down in January and be going to the Rolex 24.
Oh.
But I will be hitting Ash and Ale in Palm Coast during that trip.
Because, you're there.
Because I'm like right there, and it would be embarrassing if I didn't.
Well, it would.
The rasher shit I would catch.
Oh, my God, it'd be
anyway.
Unreal. All right, so why don't we move on to one more call, and then after we do this call, we can do a little other stuff, and then we'll come back to the last remaining calls.
Okey-doke.
Okay. Maybe. Hit the button. And...
Hey, Nick. It's me, Dave, again. Hey, I was listening to the episode with Drew Newman on it, talking about the humidors. It got me thinking about something that, just a show idea for you, since you're flying solo these days. Anything to help keep that asshat and flasky off the air would be great. So, here's what I was thinking. I recall an episode early in the Pulpit days, I think the name was Squirrel or something. He was a humidor maker. from Pennsylvania, I believe. I don't remember exactly, but maybe have that guy back on. He seems like he is pretty interesting. It might be interesting to someone to talk to about another area of the cigar industry other than just the cigars. Talk about humidors and stuff like that. So anyway, you take that for what it's worth. That one's free. The next one you'd have to pay for. But so it goes. All right. That's all I got for now. Maybe I'll call again because you seem to be woefully short on calls. Not that I'm going to turn into 28 calls in a row or anything. That would be excessive and stupid. Later.
I think he's calling you out, Trent. No, Dave, I appreciate the thought on that. And, it's funny. So, yes, Squirrel came on the show very early on and talked about, how he makes humidors. And I did reach out to him at one point about coming back on, and schedules just didn't work. I think he was getting a new job or something at the time. And, you know how life happens, and you just kind of, people move in different directions, and I just haven't talked to Squirrel in a while, so I like that idea.
That name Squirrel, he could be laying dead in the middle of a road somewhere too, though.
It's possible, but
just saying.
But yeah, but no, I'll circle back. I'll
That's a
talk
good idea.
to Squirrel. I like that idea. So, and I appreciate show ideas. So
for free,
yeah, exactly.
Apparently, this guy's got rates.
I mean, well, yeah, the next one costs, but,
right? You don't know what, so
for what it is, but yeah. So, all right, well, why don't we take a break from the calls and do this? It's time for the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report, brought to you by
Villiger.
Villiger Cigars, one of the leading cigar and cigarello manufacturers in the world, founded in 1888 and still family-owned and operated. Head over to VilligerCigars.com and check the store locator to find a shop near you that carries them. We guarantee that Villiger Cigars will be a wonderful addition to your humidor and cigar rotation. Travis wants royalty money for me using his Villiger song there.
Travis is going to wait a while, I think, because
so.
you only pay on quality.
I mean, let's be real.
Yeah,
so, anyway, so this is the time of the show when we talk about what we've been watching and what we've been enjoying. So, what have you been watching?
Let me premise this.
Okay, here we go.
Unlike you, obviously I come from a different generation. So I'm not connected to all your little streaming channels and shit. I'm still held hostage by Comcast. I'm spending over $200 a month on Comcast.
Gross.
I refuse.
But then again, I hate to think of what I'm spending on my streaming if I add it all up.
Add it up. You'll cringe.
Yeah.
I refuse to pay them more for anything. I will not pay for HBO. I'm not going to pay for shit. So we live with what we've got. I'm not a big movie guy. I've never been a big movie buff.
Mm-hmm.
Don't care. I don't care if I ever go into another theater. I'm not that guy. Theaters are annoying little clusters of people. So if you ask me what I watch, I mostly watch cable, and I do a lot of this.
Yeah.
I watch a lot.
Which, in all fairness,
go on.
In all fairness, I envy that sometimes. There are times when I'm sitting on the couch, I don't know what I want to watch. And with streaming, you have to know what you want to watch.
And that's not me.
And so sometimes I wish I could just click around
there isn't
and
a
find
damn
something.
thing out there right now that I would cross the street to go watch.
Yeah.
And that's just me. I like doing this and stumbling across shit that's like, wow, that looks interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so to answer the question, what have I been watching a lot lately? Liberty Mutual commercials. I am so sick of Liberty Mutual commercials. All right? The other one, if I could, I would take the My Pillow guy out.
Oh,
I am
really?
sick of My Pillow. I go from channel, My Pillow, channel, here's Mike Lindell again. I don't know who this Mike Lindell guy is, but that son of a bitch needs to go away. And the other one that needs to go away is the fruits and veggies commercial. And I know you've not seen them.
Oh, no.
Because they're on like Fox News.
Here's the thing, I don't see a lot of commercials.
No, you don't. They're on the news channels about every 5 minutes. And they have real users, testimonials. If that's what fruits and veggies turns you into, I'm not taking it. They're real users or people. I would cross the street.
Wait, are we talking about like...
It's a nutrient thing.
Little pills. So it's called fruits and veggies.
Instead of eating vegetables, you take this freaking pill because he crumbles them all up.
Okay.
And instead of eating fruit, you take his little fruity pill. And it's healthy. And my God, this 80-year-old woman is kicking soccer balls with her grandkids or whatever.
Well,
it's pathetic. She's going to fall and break a hip. It looks like Boca Raton. But anyway, so I'm doing, but boom, 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 booming around. I tend, more than anything, I land on the channels, and the guy's going to cringe. I watch Bigfoot shit. All right. I landed the other day on this thing that's going on right now. Is they're doing this massive search of Loch Ness. And you're probably not aware of this.
No.
I mean, they've got a fleet of high technology now and people all along miles and miles stretch, and they're monitoring Loch Ness for several days, looking for a Plesiosaurus, a Loch Ness monster.
Okay.
That's the stuff I land on and watch. I watch science. I watch history. I watch things that I was unaware of that just boggle my friggin' mind.
Okay.
I watch that kind of stuff. I watch brainless stuff. I like to check my brain at the door sometimes too.
Uh-huh.
So I'm the guy that will land on Peppa Pig and find myself just staring at Peppa Pig for 30 minutes, giggling at the stupid little British pig. As you know, Janet will command the TV at night, and I sit there with my iPad, and I'm flipping through bullshit on the internet. And she seems lately to be hooked on British murder and crime shows.
Okay.
Midsummer Murders.
Yeah.
Death in Paradise. And I glance up and I remotely pay attention. But as far as the last movie I've watched, don't give a crap. She likes horror films. I don't give a crap.
Did she watch Tusk?
No, she gave up on that because we read the reviews on Tusk. She
didn't even try.
No, we.
Oh,
I read the review on Tusk. I know you're propagating this Tusk thing.
I watched Lamb with her. Come on.
Well, that was unintentional. Here's the difference. Lamb was like, holy shit, that happened. That was a surprise ending, right? That was a surprise.
Yeah.
Tusk, going in that this bastard is turning this kid into a walrus, right? So why would you set yourself up for something that you know is just gonna be like, ugh. So she asked me, "Do you want to watch that?" I said, "No, that's not anything I would want to watch."
Okay, so then the other one that I recommended was Jojo Rabbit,
and that's coming.
Okay, she hasn't watched it yet.
Yeah, she gets the movies through the library.
Okay,
again, I'm not paying more for entertainment.
No, I get it.
$207 to Comcast.
Look, I'm a big proponent of the public library.
That's
way more than just books.
Here's the other thing: is I like reading magazines.
Yeah,
I've cut my magazine consumption down to like 5 a month coming at home.
Yeah.
We have, through the library, this thing called Hoopla. It's an app on the iPad, and this is what I do at night.
Yeah.
But now they have this other thing called, I think it's Libby, is an app.
Okay.
All of you listeners, look for Hoopla and Libby at your local library. There are like thousands of magazines. I'm not subscribing to Whiskey Advocate anymore. I get it on Libby for free.
There you go.
Cigar Aficionado can be. All of these Outside Magazine, name it. I'm finding them all. Road and Track jumped to like $75 a year. No, go to hell. I'm getting it for free on my iPad. So that's what I do. Is I'm more of a magazine kind of guy than watching screens.
That's fair. Okay.
Not what you wanted to hear, but that's my entertainment.
No, that's
There's
fine.
my update.
That's fine. What have I been watching this week? Well, you and I watched Top Gear, or no, Grand Tour.
That was good last night. Yeah.
And what else have I been watching this week? I've actually been watching some stuff just because I've been down and out with crappy throat. I watched a little bit of Eastbound and Down. I hadn't seen the 3rd and 4th season of that, so I did watch that, and I finally know how that show ends. And boy, I like Eastbound and Down, but Kenny Powers is a really hard guy to root for as like your protagonist in the show, because so often throughout that show, I'm just sitting there going like, God damn it, Kenny,
Changing shows. Succession. Succession is the one with the old bastard with the company
with
and,
the kids
and his asshole kids.
Yeah.
Okay, she got, I don't know, at the library, she got like the first season of that.
Yeah.
And by the 3rd episode, I wanted them all dead. And that's the thing with shows like that. There's always that protagonist where it's like, I don't like this, and I don't like being hooked into that next episode. And I don't like getting this. And a lot of TV shows do that.
No, that has been a thing.
I mean, that was the whole thing growing up, is you had 30-minute sitcoms. And that, turned into Society. They're happy. Oh, Christ, we have a crisis, something happened. And then the end happy. And you're happy and done in 30 minutes.
Yep.
And then they got into this successional, not intended, next episode. Sopranos did that.
Yep.
Oh, you got to come back next week to see what happens. And I don't like that stuff because I don't want to be committed to having to watch the next. So I avoid those at all costs.
There are some shows that I'm okay with that with.
All right.
But there are other shows that, yes, I do like the episodic nature of it.
Yes.
And, I have my Star Trek mug. here. And that's one where I think the episodic nature,
right,
it's better. Because, like, there's a show
because
called...
they're on a journey.
There's a show called Star Trek Discovery that's been
Right.
on Paramount Plus. They had the whole season-long storyline where you had to watch episodes 1 through 4 to understand what happened in episode 5. It wasn't nearly as good as some of the other ones where it's like you can just grab a random episode and at the start they're flying around, they find something fucked up, they investigate it, ship does this for a little while, and then they deal with it and they move on to the next thing.
Yep.
That's more fun than the storyline deal.
I
get it.
I'm not a storyline guy. Because what happens is they get lame fast.
Well, what I feel like is...
Because the writers get lazy and they can't come up with clever shit. They have one clever idea.
And they do one season.
They take that one clever molecule and they try to turn it into something. And it...
I feel like a lot of times shows have one, maybe two good stories out of a thing.
Yep.
But it becomes popular because they're good.
Yep.
And then suddenly they're stretching out. You mentioned Succession. Succession probably should have only been 3 seasons.
Right.
The 4th season, it was decent in the beginning, okay in the middle, okay.
Yeah.
And then I think they stuck the landing for what it's worth.
All right.
But I think they could have taken that 4th season, figured out a way to cram it in the 3rd season, and just make it 3 seasons. I don't think they needed to do
the last successional or sequential, whatever you want to call it, series we really watched was Game of Thrones.
Okay.
And that's I don't believe you ever watched
I have not, because to be honest, it was one of those things. I didn't have HBO at the time.
Right.
And then by the time I got it, the end had already come out, and I heard about the ending, and I was just like, well, this sounds like not.
That was the last time we paid for HBO.
Yeah.
We only paid for HBO at that time to watch that friggin' show. And the only reason I watched is because I like flying dragons.
Yeah.
And the White Walkers were scary looking mean bastards, and I thought that was cool. It was eye candy. All right. It was entertaining. It was clever in a regard, but it was well produced. But it was week to week to week. But we paid attention, and you get to the end, and you're going, "That's it."
Yeah.
It's like, damn it. And the dragon flies away, and they live happily ever after, whatever. But I think after a while, they just kind of go, "We're tired."
Well, and that's what, hell, the books haven't even finished. The writer hasn't even put the last book out yet.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. Star Wars proved that.
Well,
I go way back to seeing the original Star Wars in the movie house. I remember when Star Wars came out, and that was it was a big thing. And then this next one, you're going, shit, this is good, and you got to see that third one. And then they started doing the dumb shit of prequels.
Yeah.
All right, well, stop it. Just because the book stops here doesn't mean you can go back and write the book that started before the one that you just finished. And they killed an incredible program in my mind, program meaning a series of movies. I think they destroyed it by doing, how many Star Wars are, like 38 Star Wars are out there now?
There's technically 9 of the main movies, and then there's all the damn spin-offs that I can't even count
That's
anymore.
my point.
Yeah.
The damn spin-off. You don't even know them.
Yeah.
But the 3 Star Wars, you got Obi-Wan, you got Luke Skywalker, and that was cool, and you remember those forever. You don't remember number 8.
Yeah.
Why'd you make it? Because they just wanted to milk.
Well, yeah. Disney bought it for like $1 billion, so of course they got to like.
We could do a whole hour on opinions on Hollywood. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my entertainment up at Villiger. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well,
but I like Villiger cigars.
It's true.
And you can get those where?
All over the place.
At Ash and Ale in Palm Coast.
That's true. You can't get at Ash and Ale.
Ash and Ale, Palm Coast. Follow your Villiger needs. I am so going to get a phone call from Ken on the way.
Oh yeah, he's gonna.
I know that.
He's gonna have something to say. Okay, so moving on to the back to the calls now. We'll go back to the calls.
Oh, don't you have out music for Villiger?
No.
Yeah, hi. This question is for Nick's dad, Mr. Miller. Could you answer for us how old Nick was the first time you caught him masturbating, cuffing the carrot, flogging the dolphin, spanking the monkey, giving Shirley the old 5-knuckle shuffle?
Literally.
And I guess, Nick, for you, what was it like to have your dad walk in and catch you masturbating to gay porn? Okay, thanks.
I got this.
Really? Because I'm ready to hit the Adam Protocol button, but hey.
Hold off.
Okay.
Apparently this individual has a certain preoccupation with masturbation. Well, first of all, if he ever loans his phone to somebody, I hope he sanitizes it before he hands it off. Second of all, your preoccupation with masturbation. I can make an assumption that you speak of what you know. I have a word of caution for you, is you need to shave your palms before you hug your mother or shake her hand. Your father neglected to do that one time, and it turned into a real family issue. For God's sake, man, whenever you masturbate, think of your mom, all right? Moving on.
I'm not going to hit the Adam Protocol button. I'll just let that stand. So
we'll just let that dangling out there. We'll
leave that out there. Okay, next call here. Oh, dear God, be better.
I took care of you on that one.
Yeah, thanks.
Right.
Appreciate it.
Hey, guys. It's Noah calling.
What's up, Noah?
I would like to thank the oldest Miller for raising such a fine young son. I have a question.
Apparently
it's probably already been asked already, but what is the most embarrassing story you have of Nick? And if that already has been asked, what is your favorite cigar memory that you guys share? And if that's already been asked, I'll just go fuck myself. Keep up the good work. Talk to you later. Bye.
You seem to have a thread with your listeners.
What do you mean?
He needs to move to Illinois, to Buttfuck, Illinois, or whatever that town is.
Buttfuck, Illinois.
I don't think you ought to do this group video her thing.
No, it could get weird. It could definitely get weird. Anyway, thanks for the call, Noah. All right. Let's go. Look, when I told you, when I asked you if you wanted to do this, you said it could be soul destroying.
I hesitated too. I didn't text you back immediately.
No, I noticed. So, you said it could be soul destroying. So here we go. Noah teed it up. Whatever. I can take it.
In all sincerity, let me answer that question in kind of a broad scale. Nick was not a bad kid. He and his brother both really never got in trouble. I got divorced and remarried when they were little. So, and I don't want to get too deep into emotional shit here, but you cherish the time you have, and unfortunately you're learning this with Maxwell.
Yeah.
Whatever time you get with your son, you cherish and you do the best you can. My wife and I, we always tried to do adventures with the boys. Whenever we saw them, we didn't want to just have a weekend and whatever. We tried to do things. So I'll always remember one weekend I picked you two up, and you were little. I don't remember your age. And we surprised you. We took you to the airport in St. Louis, and we flew you guys. It was your first airplane ride. We flew you to Chicago. We spent the day going through the museum, the aquarium. And we gave you both Game Boys as a surprise, to something to play on the airplane. We had lunch at McDonald's, and we flew back to St. Louis that night. It was a day in Chicago. And that's something I'll remember forever. Now, fast forward several years, and we're walking the beach. My wife and I, for many, many years, we would go to South Seas Plantation in Captiva Island, which unfortunately just got cold-cocked with that hurricane a year ago.
Yeah, you're not going there for a little while.
They're rebounding. Well, actually, they're open, but I don't know how you get there because the little causeway bridge from Sanibel to Captiva, it must be like a floating one-lane bridge, but they're open.
Okay.
And we were there after Hurricane Charlie, I guess it was, and all the trees are just, so it's not as pretty, obviously, but the beach is there. Anyway, many years ago, back in, it would have been, I don't know, 20 years ago maybe, we're walking the beach with Nick and his brother, and I fire up a cigar. And this little shit looks at me and goes, well, whatever floats your boat. And I just thought, well, that's a cocky little comment, right? And I'll always remember that.
Here we are.
Now look at you.
I know, right?
Your boat's floating, pal.
My boat's floating.
Fast forward many more years, Noah, and one of my fondest memories was sitting on the front porch at the Hill Cigar, I'm botching.
Yeah.
The Hill Cigar Company. I was in town, I don't know, for the race or something. I don't remember why. I was in business or something. I traveled a lot in my career, and I was always I've moved around the country, and I'm always popping back here whenever I could. And we're sitting on the front porch at the Hill Cigar Company. I had a nub that day. I don't know what you had, but
I remember you having a nub. I don't remember what I had.
See, there you go. That was just one of those moments, where it's kind of like, I'm sitting with my son. He's an adult now. We're having a cigar together. That was probably the first real sit-down cigar together we ever had. And we're just bullshitting with any stranger that comes on the porch. There are no things as strange. My grandfather, many years ago, there are no things as strangers. They're just friends you haven't met yet. And that's what that felt like that day. We're just chewing the bullshit with anybody and everybody, and we're all laughing, and we all just go our separate ways. So it kind of went from surprising him as a little boy to being insulted by the little kid to having a nice moment with my adult son. So there's my answer for what it's worth, Noah.
Okay. Well, that wasn't nearly as painful.
I'm not out to embarrass you. Huh?
Well, I mean, I get it. But, you had your moment.
Kind of is what it is.
You had your moment.
Ah, swing and a miss.
All right. Well, we got one more call here.
Will they never end?
Oh, I know.
That's good. Yeah, I got calls.
Hey, Jerry Pleasky here. A fine how do you do to the Millers, in plural. Millers in stereo, if you will, as it turns out. Anywho, I'm glad to hear that you were able to share these cigar memories with your father there. The only cigar memory I have, old Jerry Pulaski here, is when a young Jerry Pulaski, his father would come home after losing the rent money on pull tabs. He would put out his cigar on my thigh as a form of punishment.
Saw that coming.
Anywho, before I let you go, I promised a little sampling of my garage band, the Jerry Pulaski Quartet here, where we play instruments found in the garage, as it turns out. I call this one As Soon as I Get the Courage. And I am playing the hose that is in the garage connected to my car. Here you go. Stay smoky.
Well,
anywho,
thanks for the call, Jerry.
Here's that Jerry Pulaski guy.
There's Jerry. He's playing a hose connected to his car.
True story. This is
oh God,
true. Many years ago, Janet and I moved to Weston, Florida, and we bought a house in Weston Hills. You've been there,
yeah?
Weston Hills Country Club, and there were three builder spec new homes available. We bought the middle one. The home next to us sold. Right. So when we were moving in, the guy, as the story goes, we had moved in. I came home from work one night, came past ambulance, fire trucks, cops everywhere, all around the neighborhood. I could barely get through, right? Mm-hmm. This is right next door. And as I drove by, the garage door was gapped about that far off the ground, and there was a hose. Turns out that the couple who had bought the house next door to us, they were staying at a local hotel as they were closing on the house.
Yeah.
And instead of closing on the house, the guy goes, "I got to make an errand run. You wait here." He left his wife at the hotel. He went to that house that they were buying, pulled into the garage and gassed himself and killed himself.
Oh, shit.
Because he didn't want to be with her anymore and didn't want to move, apparently. So they hadn't...
Oh, shit.
I know. So there you go, Jerry. There's your gas in the garage story. So, yeah, that was a moment. And it resold again a month later. And I'm thinking, who the hell would want to buy a house that somebody offed themselves? And it does all the time. And I think the realtors have to disclose that. Maybe you get a better deal if somebody killed themselves. You would think you'd get a discount. But...
Do they have to disclose that?
Everybody listening, it's my understanding.
If there's a realtor listening,
it's my understanding if there was a murder in the house, or people die in houses all the time. Old people die in houses all the time.
Yeah.
If there's a murder in the house, I think that has to be disclosed. somebody dying in a house, they don't, why is a house on the market?
Yeah.
Oh, the old guy died. Oh, well, shit, that's good. But I think if there's a homicide or something in a house, I think they have to disclose that.
This goes back to my whole private island thing.
Right.
That the Epstein Island was for sale. But you don't want to buy the Epstein Island.
Because?
Right now, it's freaking, kid sex island. And nobody wants to own kid sex island. You got to let it be sold a handful of times so that eventually
unless
it becomes...
it's the right price.
Yeah.
They bring that kid sex island to me for like $50.
Okay.
I'm on it.
Okay, valid.
Bad,
but I'm just saying.
It depends on how bad they want to offer.
But it's kind of like, you don't want to buy the murder house because everyone's
right.
like, you live in the murder house.
No, but here's
you
the
got to
thing.
let it be sold like 5 times. And then it's like, the Smith house.
Let's take the story and do this. What if it's a house that, I don't know, some Mexican cartel gang is targeting and they don't know that guy moved out?
Yeah.
And right, you don't want to be in the house that's targeted by whoever. I would think they would. Realtors listening, do they disclose if there's a homicide or a murder in a house before they sell it?
There we go.
Jerry wants to know.
Way to take a Jerry Pulaski call and make it legitimate.
I'm doing my best.
Okay, well, I like that. So, well, guys, that's been this month's Ask the Boys. Get your calls and questions in for next month by calling the hotline at area code 863-874-0000. I do have outro music.
You do have that. I like this actually. Sounds like a song Jerry Pulaski would play.
I would think so.
Sort of
something out of his garage, So, all right. Well, needless to say, I don't really have much of anything for this, but let's go ahead and do this real quick.
Guess what, motherfucker?
It's time for 3 cigars we smoked and enjoyed this week. And, I haven't smoked any this week, but I cleared this with you beforehand, and you have, so I'll let you answer this.
As you know, and you have participated, I'm the kind of guy that will sit on my driveway and hide from my neighbors as best I can and have a cigar, usually on weekends, because during the week I'm busy being busy. So in the last week or thereabouts, I've had a Cohiba Blue.
Okay.
Also, as you know, I tend to go for the medium. I avoid nicotine. And there comes. I smoke a lot of cigars when I play golf, and the last thing you want is a nicotine buzz out in the middle of a fairway.
Yeah.
All right. I smoke cigars to relax and to be calm and just something to take my mind off of stuff and whatever. So my taste tends to run mild to medium, maybe a little medium stronger, but I avoid the hard shit. Always have. I mean, I've had a few Cuban cigars now. Yeah. Not worth. I had one many years ago in Canada. I dropped $75 on the damn thing, and I regret that forever. It's like it just didn't do it for me. So a Cohiba Blue is just right down the middle. It's an easy smoke.
Okay.
Oliva G's and O's.
Yeah.
I like those. Now those are box presses, and we know you don't like the feel of them.
I know, but I can.
But when you drop them, they don't roll away.
But I can also appreciate it. I mean, Padron, they don't make round cigars.
That's right.
And I like Padron.
As long as they don't make triangular shaped ones, I'm good.
Yeah.
Has anybody made a triangular one?
There was one. Was it the? There has been.
That's creepy.
I know that.
See, that's just dumb, creepy stuff.
There has been, and I'm trying to remember. I feel like it was Camacho, the diplomat or diploma or something. Yeah. I don't know. I'm making stuff up now, but I know there was one.
Yeah,
I feel like at some point there was one.
That would be wrong. An oval, I can imagine, but not right. And the third one, along the lines of your favorite cigars.
Okay.
An Aladino Cameroon.
There you go.
So, like I said, I tend to go that way. And the other thing, what we had talked about before, is your flavor notes.
Yeah.
There's an ugly fact of aging that when you reach a certain age, your taste buds start to alter, and as you get older, your taste buds actually are smaller.
Okay.
Yeah, you develop some, but they're littler, and you lose taste flavor notes. I mean, I could flavor note a cigar, 30 years ago. I've been smoking 32 years or whatever now.
Yeah.
I could develop the nuances and whatever. Now, I don't smoke cigar, and you're going, well, I taste, peppercorn from the northern end of whatever. No, I'm not getting that.
I'm not quite that specific.
I'm not getting that. I mean, if you give me a Tabak Especial that's dipped in chocolate, I can taste the chocolate.
Yeah.
But as you well know, various parts of your tongue have various different taste buds. Sweet is on the front side, sour on the sides, bitter and all that other shit. But as you get older, you lose those sensations.
Okay.
So and like we were talking the other day, I mentioned this to you. That's why old people like desserts mostly. You go to a nursing home, they're all pounded down dessert because they can
actually taste
they
it.
can taste it, right?
Yeah.
You go in there with something of umami.
Yeah.
It might as well be oatmeal. So when I smoke cigars, I smoke for more of a sensation thing. And it sounds really dumb when I'm saying this out loud, and I apologize. I don't detect flavor notes. I can detect if it's harsh, or it's not. I can detect if it's this is really stupid. If it's an easy smoke, meaning I'm not enjoying it.
Yeah.
There are certain cigars I've had that just and I can't tell you why I have that.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
And I can't I'm sounding dumb when I say
No,
that.
no.
But it's more of a sensory. It's more of a sensation
I
thing.
kind of get it. I mean,
and it probably is your flavor notes. I just don't know what they are that I don't like and like.
There might be the flavor notes might be a part of it. For me, sometimes if it's got a slightly hard pull to it,
well,
like
I'm
when
done
you're
with it,
taking a draw on it, and it's like not as bad as like sucking a straw through a grape.
Yeah, but if you I've seen if you have to poke your cigar, and I've seen guys do that. I don't know what it's called. You got poker.
Yeah, you get the poker.
Yeah, it's like
draw tool thing.
Why?
It's either plugged or it's packed too tight. But either which way, it's like it's unpleasant.
Throw it away.
Yeah.
So I go for the smokes that are just pleasurable. Not creamy. And I know what you mean when you say a creamy smoke or whatever.
Yeah.
But I can detect some sensation of what they are, and it's a matter of being 66 years old, and you start to lose your taste. Okay. So not everybody does that. Medications cause it. Various medical conditions can cause that. Not everybody listening is going to experience this.
Yeah.
But a large portion, I guarantee you, a large portion of your listeners, there's a percentage of your listeners will have experienced the same thing. You can give them a cigar and say, you get that little black cherry in there.
No.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just smoke it because it's enjoyable, pleasurable, and who you're with at the time.
There you go. Okay.
All right. Anyway, so those are my 3 cigars.
Okay. So 3 cigars. So, we're going to do one more thing. And you admitted to me you think this is stupid, but we're going to do it. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Contestants to your corners. It's time for a super fight.
Okay. So it's super fight time.
Fast forward.
I know. Normally this would be where you'd be fast forwarding.
This is where you hit YouTube many times to go to 70-second jumps.
You can't do that. You can't do that this time. So we have in one corner, we have a polar bear.
My favorite animal on earth. They can smell a human 15 miles away, hunt them down, and kill them. Any animal that can do that.
He just drank 5 energy drinks.
Perfect.
But he's really, really stupid.
Okay.
And he's taking on Abraham Lincoln, who is 9 feet tall and armed with a samurai sword. So we have a 9-foot tall samurai sword Abraham Lincoln versus a really freaking caffeine-fueled dumbass polar bear.
My money's on the polar bear.
I agree. I would like to give Honest Abe somewhat of a shot, even with the samurai sword. I think he gets a few good cuts in. But realistically, I think the polar bear, just by size and, I don't know, but like something tells me they're probably quicker than I think they are. And just savagery, even with the stupidity, I think the polar bear takes it.
Now here's where... What you don't want to do is take a pile of stupid bullshit and try to make it into logic.
But see, this is the fun of this.
But I'm about to do that. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Case in point. I've seen white belt karate people kick the shit out of black belts just because they're random and they don't know what they're doing, and they flail.
Okay.
Sometimes having form and perfection gets in your way unless you're really good at it. All right. You've seen street fighters, and I don't know if you've ever, YouTube videos. Look it up. You can see a street fighter kick the living daylights out of a kung fu master. just because they know different techniques, right?
Yeah.
So that being said, 9 feet tall is not a virtue. It's not a benefit.
Well, it was the card that was drawn.
No,
yeah.
no, I respect that. Well,
Yeah.
it's a damn stupid card.
Yeah.
Being 9 feet tall makes you vulnerable from like 4.5 feet down.
Yeah.
All right? Because Abe Lincoln had long damn legs.
He did.
Polar bear paws are like this big.
So it's a quick hit.
You can take your 2 hands, and that's a polar bear paw.
Okay.
All he has to do is pop him on the ankle once.
Yeah.
And his stupid polar bear's got him down.
It's fair. Now, one thing to keep in mind.
Samurai sword goes off.
One thing to keep in mind. I'm just throwing this out there just for the sake of argument. I'm not really thinking it's as big of a
You're really
thing,
into this, aren't you?
But I like this. Abraham Lincoln was correct me if I'm wrong, he was a championship like wrestler.
Yes.
He was big into like wrestling. So theoretically, could he get the polar bear in some sort of like wrestling, you know?
Have you ever tried to wrestle a polar bear?
No, I've never. I'm alive, aren't I? I mean, like,
that's my point.
realistic.
See?
Yeah.
No, you just said it. You wrestle the polar bear, you lose. Right?
I said it probably doesn't matter. In the
Wrap your arms around a polar bear. Go ahead. I defy you.
I was trying just for a minuscule moment to give Abraham Lincoln somewhat.
I bet for $5 we
somewhat
could get Jerry
of a shot.
Pulaski to wrestle a polar bear.
$5?
Shit, he'd do it for $1.50.
You get him a bottle of blackberry brandy, and he'd be going to town.
Hell yeah! I hear you, but
well, I wonder if I could get Jerry Pulaski to wrestle Teddy.
Money's on Teddy.
100%.
Yeah, even if he is a vegetarian.
At Pulpit Fest. They're both going to be at Pulpit Fest.
Pulpit Mania.
Yeah. We could totally get Teddy and Jerry Pulaski to wrestle. I like this idea. By the way, Pulpit Fest is Friday, September 22nd and Saturday, September 23rd. So if you're in the St. Louis area, or if you want to come and hang out with a bunch of listeners and have a good time, that's what it is. So Friday, we're hitting Top Shooters and just sitting and smoking and having a good time there. Saturday, there is going to be kind of a little mini tour of some of the cigar places in St. Louis, and there'll be breaks in between for people to go off and do their own thing, but if they would like to stay with the group, that's probably when we're going to grab like lunch and dinner and that sort of thing.
Just turned into a whole Pulpit Fest commercial, didn't it?
It kind of did.
Just like that. I was like, where'd that come from? I thought we were talking about Teddy wrestling Jerry Pulaski.
It's a segue. See how that goes.
You segued that.
As
a co-worker used to say, that was a good segue.
Right.
We never corrected him. It was always funny at meetings.
And didn't fall off a cliff and die, you know.
Unlike Abe Lincoln would if he were fighting...
or the Segway guy.
Or the Segway guy. Boy, that failed, didn't it? Why did he... I'm going to revolutionize and change the world. Fart. Like, what happened to him?
Well,
he's selling kettle corn in some county fair.
Well, hell, I mean, like, they pretty much took the Segway, took the handlebar off, and now you got these freaking stupid hoverboards that these kids are using.
Oh, no, it's worse than that. Okay, we'll get back to Abe Lincoln in a minute.
Okay.
The other day, we're driving down a relatively major road in Fishers, Indiana area, and it's a boulevard, so you got that median, right? And we're going this way, and the speed limit's 45, and in the left-hand lane, the inside lane, left-hand lane, the passing lane, coming this way, is some shidiot on a one-wheel device. I don't even know what it is. He's on, it's a single wheel, and he's hunkered standing on it, and he's passing cars. So he's doing at least 45 to 50.
On basically a motorized motorcycle?
On a motorized, the wheel was about this big, and it was about that wide.
Okay, so it's
like a little platform, mono bike, buzzing at like 45 with no helmet, no knee pad, and it's just like,
okay. I mean, it takes a lot of confidence to do something like that.
Yeah, that's the word. That's the word that's exactly the word I came up with. My God, look at that young man. He's confident.
So confident. Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
That's one way of putting it.
So anyway, so back to the point. The bear wins.
The bear wins.
Because once again, polar bears rule. They are the coolest animal on the planet, and we need to do what we can to protect our polar bears.
There you go. Polar bear wins.
I'm not getting into the whole climate change thing, by the way.
Okay.
I'm just talking polar bears.
That's fine.
All right.
Well, why don't we now hear about this?
This would normally be the time that I give some information about My Monthly Cigars, but I've hired that out this week, so take it away.
My Monthly Cigars is a premium cigar subscription service. It comes in a variety of different size boxes at affordable prices. Use offer code PULPIT and get free shipping on your first box and 20% off any items in the online store at mymonthlycigars.com.
That's offer code PULPIT. Thanks.
And while you're there, pick up some fucking good coffee. Just like he did.
I just picked it up.
You did. You just picked it up. Anyway, I'm supposed to have new commercials from Nick. He recorded some, but he didn't like his voice on it. He wants to get somebody else to record it. And so he's supposed to be sending me new files, but he hasn't done so yet. So, Nick, This is your reminder to get somebody to record those commercials. Otherwise, I'm going to keep playing this one.
Does he know somebody else, or he's just like...
I don't know. I assume he knows people.
He could get like a voice-altering thing. He could get an app probably for free.
He's very big into AI. He's been very
Well, I heard that on that one episode,
AI.
yeah.
So
we should make one for him then.
We could. The little AI voice, little singy thing.
Like a little chipmunk voice or something.
There you go. So, anyway, and it's time, in terms of socials, I'm available on Instagram at the Cigar Pulpit. I'm also on Facebook where we have the Cigar Pulpit Parishioners group. You guys can get in on that. Twitter/X. I don't really, whatever. I'm on it, but whatever. YouTube where you can watch us. And we'll go ahead and say we need calls for next month's Ask the Boys. Get them going already. Area code 863-874-0000. And
my socials is I don't do...
I was say
my life is nobody's business. I don't do Facebook. I have a Facebook account, but I did it because of a company that I had. I have an Instagram account, but I don't post anything. Curmudgeon, if anybody wants to look. There's Curmudgeon, tells you everything you need to know about me. There's nothing on it. I'm contemplating putting photography and things on there.
Okay.
But you will know nothing about my life.
Well, no, that's fair.
Because that's the problem. I think we have.
That's what I like about Instagram. Is the pretty pictures.
That's the only reason you look at Instagram is for cool stuff, and I hope to get some in week after next.
There you go.
So.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Going to Yellowstone.
That'll be fun.
My focus is a Milky Way photo. I've got the astronomical charts. I know exactly when it's open, when it's going to be visible, where, what hours, from 9:38 to 11:40, and I'm studying up on photographing that and improving landscape photography, and hopefully I'm not killed as you were yesterday from your uncle. I'm not gored by a bison or eaten by a grizzly.
That would be preferred.
But that'd be a great photo.
That would be good. So, well, I'm getting the notice from the iPad that the battery is about dead. So why don't we go ahead and say that this has been nice. I appreciate it.
It's good seeing you. It's fun.
It's been fun.
It's turned into a nice morning, too.
And it has been. We got lucky with the weather. You were in town. We did the IndyCar race yesterday.
Right.
And I know leading up to it, you and I were both very concerned about the fact that they moved this from a Saturday night race to a Sunday afternoon race in August. Who the hell thought that was a good idea?
It would have been 95 degrees and skin melting.
It would have sucked.
Yeah.
But we got lucky. And it was really, really nice.
It's like 78 and cloudy.
And today is looking to be like 80 and sunny. So like the seventh level of hell has moved away from the Midwest at this point, I think.
For the time being.
For the time being. So anyway.
And let's hope that the storm that's coming into Florida doesn't cause problems.
Yes. For those of you in Florida, hunker down.
We don't want to see anything bad happen to Ashenale in Palm Coast, Florida.
Palm Coast, Florida. Boy, Ken, you're getting your money's worth out of this one.
So,
anyway.
No, seriously. We worry about Maui and all that other stuff, but storms coming through like that, they're no fun.
No.
So.
No.
All
right. Well, guys, this has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick.
I guess I'm Dad.
Everybody stay safe and stay smoky. Apparently this sounds like a training video.
You know what you need? It does, actually.
See, there's a reason. There's a reason for that. because I had to get fair use, music. I can't deal with things with copyrights.
See, the thing I would suggest, since this is the cigar pulpit,
you
need like church organ music. There's no pulpit feeling in this damn thing. You're the bishop.
That's true.
You need
I wanted
like,
something
you need like some really like little. Whenever you go to mass or something, you always have this really active organ music to get your ass out. You need church organ exit music.
Okay. So
nobody copyrights that stuff because nobody wants to admit ownership of that.
Okay.
So you need to look for organ music. Make this a true pulpity thing.
Gregorian monks, maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Get a Gregorian chant. Get a chant going. Yeah, do that at Pulpit Fest. All right, everybody.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
There he is. Finally, what's it taken? 3 years of this?
3 years, and we finally get it right.
Damn, you should have called me
There
first.
we go.
Anyway, it's been fun.
Later, guys.